What up, guys? Suave here, bringing you part two of my introductory series. 20 and 1 games consecutively. Um, Not too great, but good start, good start. Um, so I'm not really entirely sure what happened with my last video. It looks to be that I had some sort of audio mishap with YouTube. A little brain fart there. But I'm gonna try to talk a little louder this time and see if maybe that would be helpful. Hopefully that will provide me with a better commentary or a better sort of sound clip at least. So I don't actually have video editing software yet, so I have been actually doing this using Windows Movie Maker, which hasn't really been a whole lot of help for me. They seem to really have a lot of problems with working in HD and stuff like that. And it saves in a file format that YouTube doesn't really understand, so you actually have to upload it via the media player, which doesn't allow you to do that in HD, which kind of sucks. But probably after the holidays, I'll be able to pick up Sony Vegas and get some real commentaries going. So yeah, um, I want to show this game, and I want to talk about a new series that I would like to try to start up and see what you guys thought. I'd like to talk about kind of like a way back in the day sort of thing where where I would talk about old games that I used to play or games that you guys used to play. Um, Old systems, games as old as 5, 10, 15, 20 even years ago. Um, and kind of go over how the game was made, things about the game that you liked, didn't liked, or what was fun about the game, or even fun games that we may have forgotten in these days of such advanced gaming and online games that games change so quickly that you forget about old games that they used to just test and test and test and hope that you wouldn't find a problem with it and then run with it. But now they seem to be able to release games a lot quicker, and they just provide a patch, which I'll tell you, like, I have not had a lot of Call of Duty luck lately. I've been having connection problems out the wazoo, and I don't know if it's entirely Treyarch's fault or Comcast's fault, because I have played at my friend's house and I really didn't have a whole lot of trouble with the internet like I do here. I had some connectivity issues, but certainly not what I have here. So it's really making me starting to think that um, Comcast is really to blame, which I'm not really too surprised about that. But um, so like when I so just to start off, when I was younger, I do remember owning a Genesis, and then I really was swayed by it and thought it was a wonderful system. So when Sega made its next installment, the Saturn, I jumped right on it, and in 1994 I had one, and I was the only person I ever knew who ever had one. It seemed to be that people really didn't take well to it. I think that at the same time PlayStation came out and really sort of set the market, and they had such great third party support, and all the games that they made were just more entertaining, I suppose. And it eventually sort of crippled Sega. And at that time, although Sega Saturn and Sony and Sony PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 were the three main ones between I want to say like 94 and 96, there were several other systems that came out, such as the Neo Geo, and there was Game Gear, and Atari Jaguar, and I'm sure some of that I'm even forgetting. And there used to be this place that I would go and play video games nearby my house called Microplay, and they're no longer in business, but it was like one of those $1 for 10 minutes, and you could play anything you wanted. And they had all sorts of games and systems, and it was really a good time. And I spent a great deal of my childhood there, and ended up purchasing um, my Dreamcast from there as well, uh, which I really found that the Dreamcast to be a really great system. I'm really surprised that it didn't end up doing as well as I think it should have. It really was a system that I think went really underrated, and had poor third-party support and poor game selection, but had excellent graphics and was really one of the most advanced systems I had seen at the time. I mean, they had the available online gameplay with a game called Phantasy Star Online, and although I never played Phantasy Star Online, I was aware of it, and um, knew that the online gaming was going to be the wave of the future. And I actually read recently that um, the game that game is in fact I mean, the servers are still up and people are still playing that game, which I thought was crazy. As crazy as when I heard that people are still playing Counter Strike. Talk about wall hack. And I just don't. I just was surprised to find out that people are still enjoying old things like that because I don't exactly know what you needed to get online for the Fantasy Star Online game, but I knew that you certainly used a dial-up connection, which I think really probably made for slow gameplay. But with my connection issues lately, it seems like I am playing on a dial-up connection. I wonder if it would even be faster. Um, yeah. So in the last, I want to say a few minutes of this commentary, I'd like to go into um, what games you guys think that you want to play. So leave a comment below and let me know what games that you used to play and what systems you had, and let me know if I'm forgetting anything, and maybe I'll start a series and see if we can dig up some old gaming history, get back to our roots, and see what's out there. So yep, not a bad game. 20-1. Um, yeah, and check out my other videos and stay tuned for all the best Call of Duty gameplay and my new series way back in the day.